Hello, hello. Welcome to the Good Garbage Podcast. My name is Ved Krishna. My primary reason for existence has been to find ways to leave our wonderful planet cleaner. We will be speaking with material innovators, creators, and propagators to learn from them how we can build for scale and towards a regenerative future. Their stories will help us answer the big question, what is good garbage?
Hello. Welcome to a May edition of Good Garbage News, where we find recent stories from the sustainable packaging industry and put them all together in one easy-to-digest podcast. It's your place to hear everything you need to about the work being accomplished in products, funding, regulations, and circularity. As we look forward to the rest of the month of May, I'm going to touch on all the latest in news, but also two big stories that take the lead this month, including the Global Plastics Treaty. But first, I want to start with something I'm seeing mentioned everywhere, and that's PFAS, the forever chemical. The reason we're starting here is because of the recent changes we've seen in the government policies on PFAS, which include fast food wrappers no longer using it, and the US government putting efforts towards getting it out of the water. Let's start with what it is. PFAS are man-made chemicals that have been used since the 1950s. They are popular in consumer goods because according to the Regulatory Council of Interstate Technology, they impart oil, water, stain, and soil repellency, as well as thermal stability and friction reduction. This means it's found in clothes, makeup, electronics, and even carpets. It's also a part of non-stick footwear. As far as the health effects go, PFAS has been linked to cancer, reproductive harm, immune system damage, and other serious health problems, even at low levels. Risks have been known about PFAS from the US Environmental Protection Agency since the 1990s. As far as the legislative timeline in the US, going back to 2020 is when the FDA received commitments from US food manufacturers to phase out PFAS. As of 2023, PFAS was no longer being sold in fast food packaging in the US. And now, in 2024, the EPA will help protect communities from 6 PFAS chemicals via their drinking water. We will keep you updated with PFAS as more news comes out about the forever chemical. Now we move to the Global Plastics Treaty, which had its 4th of 5 meetings last week in Canada. This 4th meeting changed the level of discussion from ideas to what was going to be in the text of the treaty, with the biggest indecision coming from limiting the amount of plastics production. Although reducing plastic production remains in the text, there are objections from plastic-producing countries, companies, and oil and gas exporters. The 5th and final meeting for the Global Plastics Treaty will occur at the end of November this year, where they hope to have a treaty finalized.
The Good Garbage Podcast has been brought to you by PACA. PACA has been creating solutions in the food packaging, carry, and service space. PACA utilizes sugarcane residue and upcycles it into amazing products. Their latest offering is a compostable, flexible packaging solution for the chocolate and confectionery industry. The products are available in the Indian subcontinent and in North America now. PACA is also building an end-to-end solutions for customers in the food service and delivery space. For any query, do email at connect@paca.com, and PACA is PAKKA. Now, back to the show.
We now move to Gaia Biomaterials, a developer of biodolomer materials for packaging solutions, has successfully raised $5 million USD. Their home compostable material, biodolomer, is based on limestone. CJ Biomaterials has announced the world's first completely biodegradable plastic bottle cap made from PHA. The California-based company Beyond Plastic is working with CJ Biomaterials biopolymers. The cap is both recyclable and compostable. You can hear more about CJ Biomaterials on the latest episode of Good Garbage, where Vade interviewed Lauren Scott, the Director of Corporate Affairs for CJ Biomaterials. The two talked a lot about regulation and policy, and the direction we're headed in both the US and the rest of the world. I hope you enjoyed that conversation. Next week, we're looking ahead to Brad Laporte and Michael Winters, both who work for WinCup, joining the show to talk about products, including Fade, a straw made from PHA. If you have any questions or comments, or have any thoughts on guests or topics that should be covered by the Good Garbage podcast, please feel free to email me at alex.moore@paca.com. That's alex.moore, MOORE, at paca, PAKKA.com. Thank you so much for listening. We'll be back next month with all the latest as we continue to go around the world of packaging.
Thank you for listening to the Good Garbage Podcast. Follow us on social media to never miss an episode. Links are in the description below. I'm your host, Ved Krishna. See you next time.